Oh, intro video. Woo! And it did it again. We're going to have to figure something out with Riverside because it just does not like something. Anyways, hello and thank you for listening to Guidance in Recovery. I'm Keegan, and every week I speak with guests who honestly explore recovery, sobriety, the struggles that come with it, and find things to help us in our recovery journeys. Today we have a powerhouse guest returning for his third appearance to help us dive even deeper into his revolutionary recovery system. He is a former stand-up comedian, a doctor of divinity, and the author of Sourcery 101, 13 Rungs to a Higher Elevation of Consciousness. Described as a little bit Deepak and a little bit Tupac. I think I said that right. You can tell I live under. Oh, okay, yeah, I live underneath a rock. He spent decades trapped in the traditional sick care system while battling heavy substance abuse, trauma, and PTSD. After experiencing his own profound spiritual awakening, he has developed a unique, no-nonsense shamanic system designed to conquer spiritual bankruptcy. And last time we touched on this whole thing, we went through rung one, which was shadow work. But Justin, I hope you've been well. And I just got to ask right off the bat, what myth are you wanting to bust today whenever it comes to recovery?
Yes, there's a big one I would love to bust, and I'm trying to constantly bust, and that is when it comes to recovery, one size does not fit all. And that
Ooh.
is the biggest myth. Like, that is ridiculous. I've been to rehab 5 times. Okay. There's one way that they tell you every single time. It's kind of, religion and AA and religion and AA, and that is the only way, and that's it, period, end of story.
Mm-hmm.
And but in that is where I found, you know what? Maybe recovery isn't one size fits all. And maybe I can come up with something for those that are religiously traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
That might come into AA and feel the foundation of Christianity, of which it is built on, which is it is. It's not
Yeah.
a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe feel that and just run out. There are people who I know for a fact have run out of AA meetings because they feel the religious implications and just say, "This is not for me. I've been horribly traumatized by religion, been touched by priests, and just all kinds of nasty things," and they feel that and they run out. Well, those people need something else,
Yeah.
and one size does not fit all, because when you start bringing biblical words
Mm-hmm.
into your program, you're gonna immediately turn people off. You start calling God him, all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, all that biblical garbage.
Mm-hmm.
God is not a him. It's not a her either, but there's
Mm-hmm.
more feminine energy tagged to it. If anything, let's get all woke with it and call it a them. Because really, if Star Wars has it perfectly. Obi-Wan said it perfectly. The Force it's a collective energy made up of every living thing. It is in us, it protects us, and it binds the universe together. If
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, it's not a him, it's a them. And so they are always after us. So immediately calling this for you wouldn't give electricity a gender. You know what I'm saying? Like you
No.
know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't give so when I started asking questions and I had a pastor that couldn't answer them, well,
Mm-hmm.
then I realized that, maybe this is not, this isn't the end. Maybe there's something else going on here, and maybe there's more layers to this. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. Oof. I love that. And thank you for busting that myth because that is one of the things that I wholeheartedly will like stand for because like you were saying, I came into recovery a little bit earlier before I actually went into like rehab and stuff. And I was like, I don't want in this because it's just full of this religious bullcrap that I'm not a part of. And it doesn't speak to me, it doesn't resonate. And it feels like it's getting shoved down my throat. And whenever you go to certain AA meetings, some or just other meetings, but it's been AA meetings in the South where I've been, where it's like, hey, let's close up the meeting with the Lord's Prayer, and I'm like, no, like, why do we
Oh,
need to
the
do
South
that?
especially. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, good
and
Lord. Yeah, I can't imagine.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so like I like how some programs like NA will sit there and be really explicit more on the like choosing your own higher power of your understanding kind of thing. That's great. And so like the group that I'm with on a daily basis or as regularly as I can, we always refer to as higher power or higher powers. You know, we don't try to sit there and do that thing to where it's like, oh, everything has to fit in this box. So
And
it's
that's wonderful. It's just the, oh, sorry to interrupt. It's just the
uh-huh.
one thing that kind of irks me about NA, about all these. They kind of follow. You kind of have to have this guideline where,
Mhm.
you have to essentially say that I am separate from God and I need God's assistance. I am powerless. Step
Mhm.
one. Step
Yep.
one. You're not getting 12 steps before you pass step one, and step one is saying you're powerless.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never pass step one again. I worked the steps 3 times and I admitted I was powerless, and it brought me right back to drinking.
Mhm.
So, to say I am an alcoholic is complete. And I please understand when people say this. I am aware I have a substance abuse problem and I should not use substances of any kind, because you know what? I feel better. I like it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I am not an addict. I am not an alcoholic. What I am is the awareness of the addict, the
Mm.
awareness of the alcoholic, which
Huh.
is what will stop me from continuing on. Once I realize that I am not the program, this
Mhm.
dysfunctional program my childhood and my adulthood has given me. It turned me into a very dysfunctional person. We know lots of people,
Mhm.
but yeah, everyone me, they're not that's not who they are. There is a divinity, a little bit
Mhm.
Deepak, a little bit Tupac, right? Well,
Yeah.
Tupac was, and we talked about last time about the shadow work. Tupac, that shadow, the reaction was driving my car, and you
Mhm.
can move it to the passenger seat and you can move it to the back seat. Well, this episode is going to be talking about how to work, how to do that, how to
Okay.
recognize your shadow, how to work on your shadow.
Okay. Cool. And thank you for that clarification because I mean, it's one of those things too where no matter how many people I've spoken to, there's always that difference of opinion. Like you're an alcoholic or addict forever and stuff. But I love the way that you just shaped that. You have the awareness of it, and so you're embodying something totally different. You know,
Mhm.
and I think that that's really cool. So why don't we dive into what we do with the shadow after we've named it and tell it to get in the back seat and stop trying to side drive.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, and to figure that stuff out, you have to figure out your beliefs. So there's
Mm,
there's parts in the book that I kind of that kind of highlighted a little bit. Let's see if we can find it. But you are, as I said, you are the awareness of this program, and this
mhm.
program for many people has become very, very dysfunctional. Like you see the whole Karen thing, which I feel very bad for anyone actually named Karen. I'm
Mhm.
really sorry. Like, my heart honestly goes out to you. I'm sorry your name. Like, this whole Karen thing happened. It's not your fault.
No.
But you're seeing these people in these shadow-driven moments where the shadow's taken over and they're no longer in charge. They have no they're yelling obscenities, they're saying, N words, F words, and the shadow is taken over and they have no longer control.
Yeah.
So for these instances to not happen, you have to dive in and find your beliefs, find your false beliefs. Somewhere in these, I've seen one where, she went on a rant about saying this, the N word, and obviously there was some racial tension. So for someone like that, and we shouldn't demonize these people. These people, you're separating yourself from them. They're not any different from you. They've just had a different experience.
Mhm.
Everyone's just a walking reflection of the experience they've grown up in. Stop getting mad at them. Just have
Yeah.
some empathy, understand what they've been through, and work with it that way. So in this
Mhm.
case, someone had some deep racial issues. So for something like that not to happen, see if she had stepped in before this whole incident of recording, and now it's on the internet, and now there's a million views, and now everyone thinks you're a racist. Well, no one's really a racist. It's just this thing. Like, we see separation. It's these ideas that were put into us very young.
Mhm.
And when you meditate, the word means to get familiar with.
Mhm.
And so at the very deepest levels, you're getting familiar with yourself.
Hmm.
Rumi said, you know, all the language, what did I say? The language, the language of God is silence. All else is poor translation.
Hmm.
So to be still and to just let what comes in is crucial. And
Yeah.
so you can go into meditation and ask questions and say, like, show me what I need to know, show me
Hmm.
some beliefs. If you're having anger issues and your life is really a mess, you need to like ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like a lot, like what is
Uh-huh.
going on, and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
Here's your beliefs, and here's the thing: is sorcery is not about changing minds; it's about opening them.
Ooh.
It's a matter of just like sitting there and just being like, is this a belief that serves me? Because I'm not going to tell you if it serves you. I'm not going to tell you, does racism serve you? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But if you ask, it'll answer, and and maybe it's an answer you should roll with, because
Hmm.
I know what it's going to tell you,
Hmm.
and maybe you should listen so you don't end up on the camera end of one of these extreme things. But
Yeah.
yeah, so is that part of your practice?
Yep. Yep. I try to do at least about at bare minimum 10 minutes a day in front of my altar.
Perfect.
But I mean, that's kind of the thing too, is that I'll have those moments where it's like, all right, like help me through this kind of thing. And I'll get hit with something and I'll have one of a few reactions. And the one that I've found that is the most changing for me in the beneficial way is like, it made me uncomfortable. Why did that make me uncomfortable? And then, oh, I need to do this. And that makes me nervous about maybe doing that thing. So maybe I need to go do that. But I mean, that brings about change, right? And change scares a ton of people. So I feel that's why a lot of people don't want to quote unquote get better, because who are they after the change?
And that's it. And here's the thing: you're doing great though. Whatever you're doing, like that's uh, keep going. Like you got it. Just whatever you're doing, like, and that's what people need, is like whatever you've got going on, just keep doing that. But that's where it comes in. So here's the thing with people, and like here's the most critical element that I discovered about people is we don't gravitate towards what's safe or what's comfortable. We gravitate towards what's familiar,
Mm,
and that's it. So and this is the deal with, you see, the wives, just going back to the same dysfunctional family because they grew up in a function dysfunctional family, and they have this belief that they're undeserving and they're garbage. So they need to find a husband that makes sure they tell them that they're garbage, and that's familiar. And that's
mm,
what's scary for people who have grown up in really horrid situations, is that they're going to continue to gravitate towards what's familiar. Not
mm,
what's safe, not what's comfortable, always what's familiar. If you grow up in a
mm.
great atmosphere, awesome. You'll
Yeah.
gravitate towards that atmosphere and have a wonderful life.
Hmm.
But for those that have not, like me, I gravitated towards very toxic women and have never had a healthy relationship that's lasted
Mm,
longer. I think not even 18 months is my longest. And
mm,
so I have not, so I gravitated towards more people that were like me and therefore had terribly unhealthy relationships.
mm.
So to get down there and to really seek what is, and you can, if you're really having a hard time, meditate as much as possible. And I want to go over just 5 things that will stand in the way of you getting a clear meditation. Okay, quick 5 things. One,
Go for it.
obsession with sensual desire. If you're obsessed with anything worldly, it is ensured to block your third eye. You cannot lose yourself if you are thinking about hitting the club this weekend or adding to your Amazon wish list. So ill will is number
Uh-huh.
2.
Okay.
To connect with source energy, you must be at the same vibrational level as source energy. And source energy does not resent anyone or anything. It is an intelligent love and a loving intelligence. And you must meet it at its level, or it will, because it will not meet you at yours.
Mm,
3, dullness. If you're bored, if you're not in the eternal present moment, which is a wonderful moment, You're envisioning something and connecting to the energy of that created future. You should never feel bored. If you're really creating and connecting, meditation should never feel boring.
Huh.
Restlessness, this is the big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and I tell people, now that I've discovered this, I tell people all the time. So if you can do just a little bit of stretching or yoga, I do 30 minutes yoga, 30 minutes of meditation every day. And but even just a few minutes, 5, 10 minutes, stretch the body out. Like when you wake up in the morning, just stretch it out. Just do a few things. I mean, I do, my Apple Fitness yoga app, and it really gets me. Like I can really connect most of the time. Still not all the time.
Yeah.
But if you can really stretch your body out, something happens to where when your body's relaxed, your mind heart coherence can snap in much quicker.
Huh.
And the fifth thing is skeptical doubt. If you're going into meditation expecting something to happen, I promise nothing will. That said, you can also not go in expecting something to happen either.
Uh-huh.
So connecting to the field means completely letting go. It's like Eminem, lose
Mm.
yourself, right? Lose
Yeah.
yourself in the moment. And he did that when he'd go on stage and everything. But you can feel like Eminem on stage. You can feel like Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl. You can feel like you're skydiving. I've felt all these things. And
Mm-hmm.
the craziest moment I remember was when Tom Brady won his championship with the Buccaneers, and I saw him celebrating, and I was like, "Oh, Tom Brady!" I'm not a big fan. I was like, "Oh, Tom Brady won another one, a jerk! I can't believe he won another one." But somehow, in an instant, as I'm watching this happen, he's like looking at Rob Gronkowski, like waiting for him to jump on him, and I immediately felt exactly everything he was feeling. This euphoric, incredible sensation came over me, and I was Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl.
Huh.
So, I mean, like, so you can connect to other people if you try. And
Uh-huh.
and that's the other thing about celebrating other people's victories. If you're going to separate yourself from it, it's just going to get you further away from where you want to go. If you can connect to people and enjoy their successes, your success is on the way. But if you're constantly jealous about other people's successes, it's going to start causing issues.
Mm. Oof. That's rough. And I mean that it feels like that's what most people do though, is they do that comparison game like, hey, let me compare my wins or so on and so forth and see where I'm at compared to everyone else and then maybe judge myself and put myself down or try to bring others down to make myself feel better. And it's just weird how you were able to do that connection thing because I've had something similar like that kind of happen too, and it blows my mind. And real quick, I did want to make a comment about what you were saying about that safe and comfortable thing and being drawn towards what's more familiar. Because
Mhm.
I just saw a post today that was saying like, who here is the chill in the bedroom type people, and who here is chill in the living room type of people. And someone was like, the people that chill in the living room are the ones that were probably raised up in happy, stable families. And I was like, oof. Because
I chill in my room. Oh my god, yeah, yeah, no,
yeah.
it's totally. I chill in my room. Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, not much anymore because like I do like have, but like my room is like that sanctuary.
Hmm.
That's really funny because that's yeah. I grew up in my room. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great stuff.
And I mean, one of the craziest things that I've had happen during meditation, and this is before I got into recovery and even into my addiction years and stuff, but I was meditating and I swear I heard the sound of the universe. Whatever, I don't know how to describe it because
Oh,
no instruments
was it
sound
that? Was
it,
it
it
Om?
was kind of like an ohm. There was an ohm, but there were more instruments, but they were not like anything I've ever heard. So
That's
it's
incredible.
the closest thing that I could come to is like those like bells like during Christmas carols or something.
Try to do it.
I can't. I
Really, you
had
can't.
it's so different because I only heard it for a few seconds and I heard it twice. The first time I snapped out of it because I was like, what the hell was that? The second time I heard it for a few seconds before I snapped out of it again because I was trying to pay attention too much, you know? And that
Well,
was
you're connecting with reality. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
craziest part is when we meditate, we don't escape from reality, we escape to it. You know,
Ooh.
we're not here. This isn't actually happening. None of this really matter. It does matter. It does matter,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the most fun part is like the main thing is this is a simulation for us to practice love,
Huh.
and that's it. That's what we're here to do. That is like a flight simulator. You go in. People, the thing with the simulation, what scares people is that we're not in charge of everything. But
Mm.
like it is like the Matrix, and we're just kind of put in here, and we're just kind of let's just see what happens. You know, like and there's a lot of our you know the non-player characters, and they're living that kind of simulated life where they're not asking. But then
Mm-hmm.
you have some player characters like you and I that mix things up a little bit in here. And so the non-player characters are there. I mean, they can wake up at any moment because I was
Mm-hmm.
one. But if they don't, and they are there to simply be a non-player character, use them as such, which means they are in your life to advance the game for the player characters.
Hmm.
That's all they're here for.
Huh.
So like if they're not going to wake up, they are simply there to advance, and a lot of this is annoying people in our lives.
Mm.
They annoy the crap out of us,
Uh-huh.
and they are there for a reason. They're there
Mm-hmm.
to create patience. They're there. There's many. You have to look deep and say, why is this person in my life? But
Mm.
we all have that roommate that I call my system sorcery. I wish I could show you how to turn him into a frog, but it's not that kind of sorcery. So, but my sorcery is just as good because it's like he's not like it's like he is a frog. Like he doesn't affect you in any sort of way, and that's
Uh-huh.
having that joy versus happiness. And so
Ooh.
again, the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But where you're yeah, and just to briefly go over like how meditation works. This is kind of sciencey and it's boring, but I'll be quick. So you're going from every day we're in this beta mindset. Like that's what we're in right now. We're sharing it right now. You're in your
Mm-hmm.
kids, you drive, you're driving, you're in your computer. Well, we're in this beta concentrated mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
there's low level beta, which is what we're in right now. There's high level beta, which is like if I was at ASU and a teacher said, "All right, we're gonna have a test." All right, you're paying a little closer attention, like that's high level,
Mm-hmm.
and or that's mid level. I'm sorry, that's mid level beta.
Okay.
High level beta is what everyone seems to be stuck in and can't get it. That's fight or flight. And
Oh.
there's no way to create or heal if you're constantly running from an invisible enemy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like imagine a rabbit running from a coyote. How is that
Mm-hmm.
rabbit, supposed to stop and make a better life for itself
Yeah,
when
I
it's
can't.
the problem with today is our coyotes and our lions have become in-laws and coworkers. So now we're
Mm.
seeing these people that are not threatening in any
Uh-huh.
way, but we're seeing them as threats, which is causing us to feel threatened, which is causing us to stay stuck.
Mm.
So 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 that's high level beta. So to get out
Okay.
of high level beta, which is what most people are in, meditation.
Uh-huh.
So the next level above or below high level beta mm, is going to be alpha.
Okay.
Alpha is like when you're watching TV. So you
Mm-hmm.
kind of driving, you're in alpha. You can easily like tune out of alpha because if you're going to I got to go to the grocery store on the way home. I got to go to the grocery store on the way home. I got to go to the grocery store on the way home. I got to go to the grocery store. Well, you're in alpha and you don't go because
Yeah.
you're in alpha. You've checked out mentally. Um,
Yep.
yeah, and then then you got theta,
Okay.
which is that's the creation
Hmm.
zone. So that's where you get to when you have a hypnotist and they try to get you into theta. This is the most the suggestive. Kids under 7 are constantly in theta.
Huh.
So they're highly suggestive. They don't question things. If you tell a 7-year-old that he's not good at singing, he is going to live his entire life thinking he's not good at singing because he doesn't have the the processing to say, no, I'm not. I'm a good singer.
Mhm.
And so if you say that, a lot of people out there are struggling with that because they've had these beliefs implanted that aren't true and that they've
Mhm.
never questioned and that they're just assuming is true. Maybe they sound like Adele, but their mother told them on a bad, maybe it's not even a bad mother. It's just some good mother that just had a bad day and just was just like, stop singing, you're terrible. Forgets it, doesn't remember it, not a bad parent, but that, because of who said it and what it is, has become a belief, and now nothing in terms of music will ever happen with that child. So
Mhm.
these are the things we're diving into. So the
Mhm.
theta is getting into those beliefs. So once you're in theta, you can now mine these things that happened in childhood. And for me, a lot of mine were in adulthood with Christianity. Like
Mhm.
I got there, so I had an equal amount of both to deal with.
Uh-huh.
And then there's delta, which is you can be in delta and be awake, but mostly it's the sleeping wave. It's what we're in when we're sleeping. And then there's
Mhm.
gamma.
Okay.
And let me tell you about gamma. Gamma is where you want to be. So my bliss attacks happen when I am in the gamma. They've happened several times. I've talked about them in the book. They are transformative moments where you are essentially brought out of the simulation. You are
Hmm.
emotionally brought out. I have never left my body. I've never had cool stuff like that happen. Like I've gone to another planet. Like I've met aliens. I've never had anything remotely cool happen to me. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of cool things. My bliss attack but my bliss attack is emotionally
Mhm.
like carrying me. I don't actually leave my body and meet ghosts and aliens and things like that. It's this bliss attack is happens when I'm in gamma,
Mhm.
and I don't know the formula how to get there. When I figure it out, I'll let you all know. But it just kind of happens when it happens, and that's where the
Mhm.
book came from. That's where the vision for my life came from. It's so it's like being in beta, because beta is a very like high wiring. Like the signals in beta are like this. Like in
Mhm.
delta, they're more like this.
Hmm. Okay.
In beta, they're like this. Well, in gamma, you're actually more relaxed than delta, but even more awake than beta.
Huh.
And that's gamma. And so
Weird.
that and it is my opinion that people like Leonardo da Vinci and Nikola Tesla just they figured out how to just stay in gamma
Huh.
and change the world. So those are the five, brain states that we're in all the time.
Mhm.
And so that's just me. I just saying how important meditation is to really get in there, because if you're constantly in this beta, like fire, especially high beta, firing, essentially you're constantly looking for things in your outside world to distract you, so computer,
Mhm.
phone, people, whatever. So you're constantly looking for things because you're in this kind of like state, right? Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Source energy, which
Mhm.
is I like to compare it to, fish swimming in water. It is the sea of consciousness that surrounds us at all times.
Mhm.
It can be tapped into at any time. It can change your life. It can give you ideas. Everything that ever happened and ever will happen is in this field of consciousness that surrounds us, right?
Hmm.
You can't access it if you're constantly in a converged focus.
Mm.
So right now we are in a converged focus. We are telling the
Mhm.
creator of the universe, "Don't bother me because I'm busy," which is fine.
Yeah.
We are busy, and it's
Uh-huh.
fine to be busy. But if you're always busy, it can't like give you guidance to where you're supposed to go and things like
Mhm.
so it's critical. And so I love to compare it to this. I know I'm talking a
Okay.
lot, but there's a lot to this. So just let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
get to that. I
Yeah.
promise.
You're fine, you're
Um,
fine.
so I like to compare it to if you're standing against a brick wall, right? Like in
Mhm.
your nose is there, and like all you see is a blurry shade of red. You take a step back, you see a brick. Take another
Mhm.
step back, you see several bricks. Another step back, oh, you see a wall. And then a
Mhm.
few more step backs, you realize, that what was just a blurry shade of red originally, that's what I thought was in front of me. Well, now
Mhm.
that I'm taking a few steps back, I realize this is a castle, and it's beautiful, and that's a divergent
Ah.
focus, and that is what very few people can actually create. Because if
Mm.
you remember 100 years ago in 1920, 100 years ago, which is nothing, there was one universe, ours,
Mm.
one. We take a step back, and 100 years later, there's 2 trillion universes. So things are not what we think they are.
Uh-huh.
So it's imperative. And meditation is how you take a step back and start looking at things from a different angle.
Mm.
And maybe things that we've been told our whole lives are bullshit and they've been leading us in the wrong direction. And maybe there's a great awakening happening, and it's exciting time to be part of it. That's all. It's just exciting time.
Yeah. It is exciting, that's for sure. And I mean, thank you for giving that detailed explanation on meditation and stuff, because that gamma brainwave sounds like it's the funnest one, but definitely one that would be hard to experience and then not want more of it. So,
Mm,
I mean, and that makes me question, like you said that the first block in meditation and stuff was
mhm.
obsession, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, obsession with that, exactly.
uh-huh.
If I go into every meditation obsessed with another bliss attack, it's not going to happen. That's what
Mm,
sucks.
yeah.
But you know, I can't expect it not to happen either. So
Uh-huh.
like when it happens, it happens. I'd say it's happened about 10 times. And each
Huh.
time has been extremely and transformative. Like the book was the most fun one. The first one was amazing because the
Uh-huh.
first one gave me guidance and showed me that this is not real. So the
Mhm.
first bliss attack like showed me that, you know, this is illusionary, this is not real, you are not who you think you are. It went over
Uh-huh.
all these things, and this is 3 hours. I'm just on my bed just accepting all this information. I
Wow.
had to even tell it to slow down, like verbally out loud. I just had to slow, because I couldn't. It's like drinking water over a fire hose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's how you know, you can get a little bit here and there, but most of that shit is going right past you.
Yeah.
So that was, but the second one happened when I was on in Sedona living, and that's when I asked for direction for my life because I had just come back from a very bad trauma. My ex fiance had left with our son, and she moved across the country to Boston and just cut off all communication. Still
Mhm.
have not seen them, still haven't heard from them. It's been 4 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
after that happened, so now I'm really like, what do I do with my life?
Mhm.
And it's absolutely incredible. And for people going through moments that I was through when, you know, my family just abandoned me and left me, and truly abandoned me. So,
Mhm.
and I know there's people going through that right now, but I can tell you that if you keep moving forward, and by moving forward, I mean don't give up,
Mhm.
there are good things that will come out of it. And
Mm.
that's what happened with me. And it was just this beautiful moment. I was hiking and I just said, what do I do with my life? I want to help others that are, you know, in this situation. And it just all of a sudden came to me, like what it was going to be called, how it was going to be, you know, like how do I
Mhm.
structure it? And you're like, oh, remember you remember the 12 steps where you're going to do 13 rungs because moving up is better than moving forward. You know, like
Yeah.
all these things came up. You're like, it's not going to be 12, it's going to be 13 because 13 is an extremely important number. People think it's unlucky, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's actually a very divine number.
Mhm.
And so all these things started, and then the sorcery angle. It's like you know, like change sorcery, put the U on it, make people want to be sorcerers without, you know, like the connotations of the Harry Potter and everything. You know, like it's
Mhm.
real magic.
Yeah.
It's emotional alchemy, right? Like
Mhm.
it's true transformation. So, you know,
Yeah.
and there's just no way to explain these things because I'm a C plus student on a good
Mhm.
day. On a good day, I was really lucky to make it through Arizona State.
Mm.
Arizona State, mind you. I wasn't. I was Arizona State. So, and I barely made it past. We're not talking about Dartmouth here. Like,
Okay.
I was at Arizona State and I barely made it past. So it just shows like anyone can make anything happen, and it's just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, I just am thankful that you were able to move forward and then start climbing that ladder and figuring out or being able to listen to everything. And one of the analogies that I had come in my head, it was similar to like trying to drink water from a fire hose, but it was like trying to breathe with your head out the window while you're driving. You know, because like you can still breathe, but it's not like you're actually feeling the breath. It's just like, uh.
Oh yeah, yeah, can't actually inhale. Dogs don't seem to care at all. They just, I
No.
love my dog. She's always hanging her head out the window.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah, yeah.
your like no obsession kind of thing reminded me of something that I read in a book about like sigil magic and stuff like that. And they're talking about the idea of no lust of result or non-interest slash non-disinterest or neither. So it's kind of like you go into a situation without the expectation or the want of a result, but still kind of, I don't know, it's a weird concept. And they even say that there's no other good way to put it. One of their friends, oh, go ahead.
Hope and expectation are two different things.
Ooh, expand on
So,
that.
yeah. So, hope is a general sense of, as hard as anything, but it's just attaching something that you hope is, that you're hoping, you're attaching the energy of hope to that thing. Now, expectation is completely different because that's going to leave you disappointed every single time. You
Yeah.
expect, especially with people, you
Yeah.
expect someone to do something, you expect this to happen, you're always going to be disappointed. Well, most of the time. Maybe something happens that you expect to happen. It's like, yes, all right, that happened. But like 90% of the time,
Uh-huh.
expectation is going to lead you to disappointment. So to
Mm.
have a general hope, I like to say stay anchored to hope.
Mm.
So if your boat is, like, it's gonna, if there's no anchor, it's just gonna float.
Uh-huh.
But
Yep.
if your boat is anchored to hope, which is
Mm-hmm.
not expectation, you're not saying this is what I want, this is the end all, this is the be all. If I don't get this, I'm done. So that's
Mm-hmm.
expectation.
Yeah.
Hope is the general feeling, the general goal of like
Mm.
what I want. It's just this general, it's the energy you want to when you complete, that's hope.
Uh-huh.
So when you get what you're hoping for, there is an energy that is attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can live that energy in the current moment, and that is what draws it in. It's almost like a beacon. So
Mm.
if you're constantly living in the energy of hope,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're trapped out in the middle of the sea, and you put the beacon on, right? Well, the Coast Guard is going to get sent out to see you, but who knows how long that's going to take, depending on how far you're out. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're way out in the middle of the ocean, you got this beacon on. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so they hear you, they see you, they're coming out. Well, if you keep the beacon going, they're going to get to you and they're going to rescue you. But if the beacon goes off,
Uh-huh.
they've lost you. So a lot of people with this whole secret thing, they lose their beacon because they
Hmm.
stop believing. And then the universe can't, well, you've lost your beacon. Well, I can't
Yeah.
find you now. And so a lot of people are just like, oh, secret's bullshit. I did it. Like blah blah blah. You didn't keep your beacon open long, and I did it. I screwed that up. So I did not keep
Huh.
my, and I didn't. I had all these vision boards and everything, and it was about like 2 or 3 weeks, and I held myself to it, and I was like, well, this is bullshit, and threw them away. Well, and that was my attitude at 25, anyways. Really, like, like
Yeah.
I really was just a middle finger to everybody.
Mm.
Um, but but yeah, that's not going to get me where I want to be. So, and
Mm.
now I know that, and now I know, being that time is not real, we can't give credence to time. So it's not lasting long. It's not taking too long. Well, time isn't real. Just let it happen. And I've got some examples of this. This is the best
Okay.
example. So one time, so my mother passed, right? So my mother
Mm.
passed. It was a very hard experience. So one of the things, so Brett Favre one time, I do a lot of sports, do a lot of pop culture. Brett Favre, his father died 2 days before he was supposed to do Monday Night Football, right?
Mm.
Unexpectedly, out of nowhere. So no one expected Brett to play. He was just going to miss. Well, Brett decides, you know what, my dad would have wanted me to play. I'm playing.
Yeah.
And in this game, he plays the game of his lifetime. He throws a perfect, he throws for like, 350 yards. He throws 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, perfect passer rating. The people, he blew out the other team, which was the Super Bowl team the year before.
Oh
Not,
wow.
not a team to, yeah, not a team to mess with. He blows this team out. They come to him. He's got tears in his eyes, and he's just like, my dad was with me the whole time. And
Mm.
so I remembered that. So now my mother dies, and the game after she dies, I say I want to play a game like Brett Favre. I want to play. I just help me just go balls out and just play this amazing basketball because I'm not that great of a basketball player. I'm an okay one, but I'm not Jordan. I'm Rodman. Okay, I'm Rod. I'm a very valuable aspect. People like having me on a team, but I'm not Jordan.
Hmm.
And so I go in and nothing and I play a very shitty game and the week after that I play a shitty game. The week after that I play I'm like I'm waiting for my game, right?
Hmm.
Well, the day of my mother's celebration of life, it was a Sunday. I was extremely nervous. I decide I'm gonna go just cool off. I gotta get some basketball out. So I go, I play, I pick up the game, and all of a sudden in that first game, Jordan takes over me. And we played to 25 points. I scored 23 of those 25. It's the greatest game I've ever played in my life. And
Wow.
here's the thing, if that game would have been given to me when I wanted it, it wouldn't have been effective because right after that game, I was going to my mother's celebration of life where I was going to talk to people about my dead mother.
Mm.
But that game gave me such an energetic charge that it made it so much easier. I was light to talk to. I was happy. Everything was great, and it's all and but if you think about it, that moment is like, why was I not given? Where was my Brett Favre game in that moment? My mother just died. I should have gotten a good game, and instead I played a crappy game, and now I'm wait and
Hmm.
trust the time
Hmm.
and watch what happens because that game could have I mean wouldn't have come a better time and now I was like open and talking to people and it's just so that's what I mean by just time.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a really powerful example because it does sound like those things where it's like whenever we ask for some things, we kind of have to let go of that control aspect. And
Mhm.
I know whenever I've asked for change from my higher powers or help with change, they'll usually shake the snow globe up in a way that I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then things start to settle down and are like, oh wow, that's lined up really well. That I couldn't have planned that, you know. But my
Exactly, yeah.
my sponsor, he's given me the advice of like higher powers, universe, whatever answers prayer in one of four ways. No, not yet. Yes, right now. If you insist, and I've got something better. And I was like, oh yeah, I get that third one. Yeah, if you insist a lot, which I guess is where the
Say that
whole
again. Hold on. Say that again.
uh like yes right now, no not yet. If you insist, and I've got something better.
Mm,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, I land on
yeah,
that
yeah.
third one like
And you
if you
have to be okay
insist.
with whatever answer it is. You can't say I'd like another answer.
Yeah.
Can we go with the first answer? Because
Yeah.
that's not an option, right? Like
Uh-huh.
it's like, nope. You're
Yeah.
gonna go with what I'm gonna say you're gonna go with, and you're gonna like it. It's just gonna take longer than you want, and
Mhm.
tough
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah. And it makes me think of like fairy time, like in myth and folklore and all that, like the land being in the realm of the fairy folk can be like, all right, well, you spend like 10 hours there, but it's like 100 years in like real world or whatever. And just time, like you said, time doesn't really exist. And if I put expectations on something to happen within a
Interstellar.
time frame, oh yeah, Interstellar.
Yeah.
um if I put those expectations on that I'm trying to control it, I'm automatically falling into that obsession mindset. So meditation is obviously not going to work, but obviously whatever I'm trying to do too, I'm probably going to get in my own way a lot more often than not. Real quick, where can people find you for your book and anything else along those lines?
Yeah, so you can get the book. I have my Instagram, which I just I got yeah, and we've got some time. I have to talk about this whole new algorithm thing that came to me. So it'll be quick.
Okay.
So I'm on Instagram, sorcerer with a U underscore 13.
Okay.
And something I noticed the other day was, our minds are algorithms. Okay. So my Instagram now, which I was off social media for 5 years, I deleted it all. Snapchat, Facebook, just I was completely off grid,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, I was like a horse wearing blinders. Well, now I've come back, and I really like Instagram now, so I've added Instagram back, but my algorithm is so different now.
Huh.
So my algorithm shows me funny, funny dog tricks. It shows me comedians I love. It shows me really deep spiritual teachers and leaders. And my algorithm is feeding me all this positivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whereas before it was feeding me like hot girls and stupid conspiracies and and all this, it was feeding me garbage, and
Yeah.
that's what it's feeding me. And I realize our minds are much are the same. Our minds are those algorithms. Like if we're
Huh.
focused on that positive, our minds are the exact same Instagram algorithm, because I'm feeling it the same way. I'm looking at things, it's feeding me better things, and it's feeding me better things. And so keep in mind, your mind is the algorithm. So how you're setting your things, and just your mind is an algorithm. Okay.
Huh.
That's that. All right. So we can you can email me sorcerer13 at Gmail. I will gladly send you a free PDF or audio version of the book. I just want to get it out there. I just like people listening to it.
Uh-huh.
And then there's awakenthesorcerer.com. That's the
Okay.
website. So those are definitely the ways to get hold of me.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I love that mind is the algorithm kind of outlook, because it is weird. The more I try to feed myself one thing, either I keep getting it. Oh, it's kind of like that whole aspect of like someone buys a brand new car and they're like, oh yeah, I never see this one on the highway, and then after they get the car, that's all they see is like, oh, there's another Tesla. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and it will, and it'll keep feeding you positive or negative, and
Mm,
you see people that are struggling, that their algorithm is just off. You
mm,
can fix it. It takes
yeah.
time. It takes time and effort, but you can tell their algorithm is off, and it's
Mm,
feeding them, you know, fear and negativity and fear. And so watch out for that, and keep your distance from those people, because
yeah.
they're not. They need their own help.
um so real quick, so we tackled the obsession, which other of those blockages have we touched on or tried to clear up so far?
Yeah, so it's the obsession. The main ones are ill will. So
Mm,
if you're entering, you have to let go of any ill will when you're entering your a try. I
mm,
know, like, there's a lot. It took me a lot to let go for my dad. It doesn't
mm-hmm,
happen overnight. It
yeah.
takes work. It takes work and work and time and work and time and work.
Mm,
But it will happen. And I can't imagine getting mad. As difficult as he is, I can't imagine. I just want to give him a big hug, even though he hates hugs. He's
mm,
never told me I love you. He's never told me I'm proud of you. He's never told
mm,
me those things, and he won't. But
yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. I love him for
Mm,
who he is, and I know his childhood trauma creating that. This is just an environment and someone, but I know he cares,
yeah.
but I have to know it, because
Mm,
he's not going to tell me.
yeah.
So that's a big ill will. Gotta let that go with people. People are just reflections of ourselves. If you see something in that you don't like in someone, search you, because there's
Mm,
something in there that maybe that you need to work on.
yeah.
The other one, dullness. Dullness
Yeah.
obviously is just if you're just bored and you're just lying there and you're just sitting in meditation, like, I'm bored. Well, then you're going to be bored because you've decided to be bored.
Ooh.
It's opening, right?
Uh-huh.
Everything in this life is a decision. That's the craziest part. Is like everything is a decision. You're
Yep.
deciding which way your life is going at every moment. At every
Mhm.
moment, your life is changing. So there's multiple, you know, uh, dimensions happening all one time based on our decisions. There
Mhm.
was a decision where I decided I didn't want to talk to you today. There's a dimension for that. But we're creating dimensions based on our energy everywhere we go. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
dimension where your dreams come true, and there's a dimension where your dreams don't. And the
Mm-hmm.
only difference is the energy you're keeping. And that's what's going to call in to this dimension, which means this dimension your dreams will come true. You let the other dimension your dreams don't. It's just all based on energy and calling it in.
Mm.
Right. So and you can't call it in with dullness. You can't bring it
Yeah.
on board. And then the other couple, so where are where to go? Oh yes, okay. Restlessness,
Oh.
yoga. That's
Mm-hmm.
an easy one to just restlessness. Try to stretch before you do meditation, please. Just even if it's 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then the other one is just simple skeptical doubt. Just if you're coming in saying this is bullshit, nothing's going to happen. I promise nothing will. I
Yeah.
promise. So everything is based upon your energy and going in. So it is this is a call to inaction. That's what I call this chapter. It is a call to inaction.
Mm.
The whole thing is a call to action. Well, this is a
Uh-huh.
call to inaction. It's
Yeah.
a calm, sit still,
Mm-hmm.
meditate, get familiar with.
Yeah.
And part of our problem is, we seem to run from room to room looking for the diamond necklace that's already around our neck.
Yeah.
And when we stop and we take a moment, we realize that, like, oh, I was looking for this. It's right here. So those things. And then
Uh-huh.
and then real quickly, I like to go over
Yeah, yeah.
just little things that help people in the moment, because I have panic attacks. I
Okay.
did. I
Mm-hmm.
used to. I don't have them nearly as much anymore. Very
Yeah.
rarely, but they used to be constantly. Um, I have more bliss attacks than love attacks now. That's or panic attacks. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So just something you can do in the moment, if you're like me and you have a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
The senses. So the senses are why we're here. This is the fun part of being here. A simulation always has something fun to it, right?
Yeah.
There's always some fun element. Because what's the point?
Yeah.
So you're learning something, but there's a fun element to the simulation too, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
senses, because we lose them on the other side. We're just pure consciousness. So
Mm.
anything you can do to enjoy the senses will bring you out of the panic. You
Mm.
can you can look around the room. What are 5 things you see? You can just label them. What are 5 things you say? Okay, I see that. I see my posters. There's a Michael Jordan poster right there. Oh, there's a statue. Okay, like automatically that kind of starts things going.
Uh-huh.
um, what are 4 things you can feel?
Mm.
Like, what does the chair feel like? Like, this back
Mm-hmm.
wall's kind of soft, either fake leaves. And you can see, like, yeah, it's, starting to come down. So
Uh-huh.
then what are 3 things you can hear? It could be
Ooh.
traffic. It could be the AC coming on. It could be the fan that's above me now.
Mm-hmm.
It could, you're just tuning in to the senses, because it's why we're here.
Yeah.
The other one, 2 things you can smell,
Okay.
even if it's not a pleasant smell. The smell of a fart will bring you right out of your panic. I can tell you that. A smell. It doesn't have to be a good smell.
Yeah.
What are 2 things you can smell? That and
Mm-hmm.
then the last is just one thing you can taste.
Mm.
So you can put in gum, or you can just taste the kind of air of your mouth. But like, if you go through all these and you get to the very end, you're gonna forget what we were thinking about.
Mm.
It's just gonna be gone. And
Uh-huh.
understand, these are energies that are stuck.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck, but they can be healed. And
Mm.
it's your past paying you a visit.
Mm.
So when you have panic attacks, it has nothing to do with going on around you, nothing at all. I have panic attacks in the most nice places. It is the past all of a sudden paying you a visit.
Hmm.
And then you have to realize in that moment that this is not a bad thing. This is just my past paying me a visit. So what do I do from here? Because
Mm.
nothing in my outside environment is causing this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
in a meeting, I'm with friends, You know, these panic attacks happen at the most mundane times
Mm.
because your body is remembering something that is very difficult, and it'll do it whenever it feels like doing it. That's the worst part. You
Yeah.
could be at Disneyland with your kids and all of a sudden start remembering the traumatic experience from, so you have to be able to deal with these when they come up, because PTSD is non-linear.
Mm.
It will come up and have, you know, it might seem like maybe after the first year it kind of comes down, but for me, my PTSD is really hopped up in the past couple months, and I'm
Oh.
having, you know, nightmares of you know, the whole thing happening, my child, and you know, I had lost my mom before that and a sister. I mean, I went through a 4 year stage where 10 horrible traumas happened back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I
Mm.
couldn't even recover from each one of them.
Yeah.
So that's happening for me now. Like, and I haven't had any major trauma in 3 years, but right now I'm struggling really bad because that stuff, it's non-linear. It's just there. So we have to learn how to deal with it. I do believe it gets better,
Mm.
but especially in the first 5 years, don't be surprised and don't feel bad if you're experiencing PTSD issues and it's been a few years. It's okay. Me
Yeah.
too. Like it's going to happen. We just have to find things that are best for us, that we can handle it and move past it, because
Mm.
it's just a part of healing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for highlighting that. And I mean, I'm sorry that you had to go through that kind of stuff, but it sounds like you found the best thing for it and are helping other people through that as well. And that's all we can really ask for at this point. And I love the whole inaction, the call to inaction, because I've also come to learn that inaction is also an action. You know, like choosing to not do something is the same as choosing to do the thing, but just in opposite. I'm still making that choice, making that decision. And if I
Imagine
choose
all those
to,
imagine all those guys in the Middle East
mm,
if they decided to do, you know, a call to inaction instead of a call to action.
mm,
You
yeah,
know, we could change things.
yeah,
But yeah, keep going.
and but I mean, it's crazy that we're always in this survival mode. We're trying to get from point A to point B, try to be like in control of everything, and we're too busy to stop and listen and pay attention to source, pay attention to ourselves and what we're trying to say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need. And it's just like, oh, well, what I want and what I need pales in comparison to my bills, because if I don't have my bills paid for, then what do I do? Like I can't be me, you know, but it sounds like it's kind of the opposite. We take care of ourselves and then everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, let me go over the Sorcerer's Creed. I like
yeah.
to end, I'm not sure if I've ended this with the Sorcerer's Creed before, but it should be pretty quick.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
this is kind of what came to me in terms of the creed. So,
Okay.
and it has a lot of what we're talking about. So, one, I understand my focus is the energetic cord that connects and charges me. Every day I have the choice to plug into the illusion or the source. Two, I will receive my body. My body will be mine for the entire time I'm here, so I will take care of it. Three, I will pledge to seek out knowledge. I'm enrolled in a full time school called Life. Each day in school, I will take advantage and learn something new.
Mm,
Four, I understand there are no failures, only lessons. Growth is a process of experimentation. The failed experiments are as much of a part of the process of the experiment that ultimately works. Five, I understand that lesson learning never ends. A lesson will be presented to me in various forms and will be repeated until I've learned it. I know the key to my success will be to go from lesson to lesson without losing my enthusiasm. Six, I understand that reality happens through me, not to me.
mm,
Therefore, I will remain vigilant of how I am viewing myself and the world around me. Seven, I am aware that there is no better than here. And when my there becomes my here, I will simply find another there.
mm,
I am seven. I or eight. I will honor the golden rule and love others how I wish to be loved. or treat them how they want. I like love how they're done. It's just
Uh-huh.
my thing.
Yeah.
9. I understand we are one, so I will see others as mirrors into my soul. I know I cannot love or hate something about someone unless it reflects something to me and something that I love or hate about myself.
Mm.
10. And here's a big one.
Okay.
I understand I am a biological computer. If I am not regularly questioning my thoughts and feelings before they become actions, I have been relegated to an organic robot. Let that one sink in, please. 11, I understand that I have the free will to choose my own destiny. I have the tools and resources I need to do, and what I do with them is up to me. 12, I know the answers of all of life's puzzles are inside me, and stillness is the key to that vault.
Mm.
All I need to do is pause, listen, and trust. And lastly, this is my favorite one. Lastly, I pledge to approach every endeavor and obstacle I encounter with the confidence of a 5-year-old wearing a Superman cape. Let's go.
Oh, I love that.
And that's how we should end it.
Yeah, I don't think you've indulged us with that before, and I got to say thank you because that was quite powerful. I learned a lot right there in just that crease. So I'm going to have to play this back, write it down for myself, and post it up somewhere on like the
I
bathroom
gave you
mirror.
the book, didn't I? Well,
Yeah.
if not, I'll send it to you. If you like audio too, I'll send you the audio book. I'll
Okay.
send you a signed copy. You're great. Do you have a signed copy? I'll send you a signed copy.
I don't
Like,
have a signed copy.
okay, all right. Give me your address. You'll get a signed copy.
Oh.
We've done this several times now. You definitely get a signed copy.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I mean, that is such a powerful note to end on for this episode. So, I mean, we're going to see you back on again because we've still got what, another 12, no,
There's a
11
lot.
rungs to go.
I can fill up time. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's three. Yeah. Three is next one is called Surrender to Serenity, and it is about
Ooh.
understanding the human condition, which is I mean, I hate to put one above. It's just they're all just so critical. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you have to understand what we do not understand, we fear. Is
Hmm.
critical. You understand how humans work, and that will be the next one.
No, I love that. It reminds me of a saying that someone that was teaching the steps said because people would always be like, "Well, what's the most important one?" And he'd say, "Whichever one you're working." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty spot on." So,
Except for the first one, that one's garbage.
yeah.
Screw that powerlessness thing. Just get rid
Yeah.
of that. Get rid of that.
Yep.
Let's move on to step two.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, yeah,
Well,
absolutely. So
awesome. Well, Justin, thank you again for being back on Guidance and Recovery. And I'm looking forward to the next episode because, oh, I'm ready to start putting some of this stuff to work myself. And everyone else out there, thank you for listening to Guidance and Recovery. And I hope you have a great, wonderful day, evening, or night, whenever you're watching or listening. And don't forget, try to love yourself. Love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first. If you're having a mental health crisis, you can call 988 or you can text 741-741 if you don't want to call. And if you're in the LGBTQ plus community, you can dial the Trevor Project up in Canada. And I just gotta say, Justin, you got any last words?
or me. Yeah, if you,
Yeah.
I'm a good resource for any of that. I love my LGBTQ people and like everything. I love everybody. So if
Yeah.
you want to email me, I'm around. But all that other stuff is amazing too. And
Awesome.
yeah, love it.
Awesome. All right, Justin. Thank you very much. And everyone else out there, till next time. Shalom and stop. Awesome.